Hi everyone, this is Ayuj, and this is Social Soda, and today we're going to be going to Battersea Power Station. So I'm going to visit the place for the first time, and then tell you what I think about it. We have reached Battersea Power Station. It looks gorgeous. It's fully lit up, and it's a brand new area of London to explore.
So it is a former power station, as you can tell by the name, on the southern bank of the Thames that was decommissioned in the 1980s, and the building was unused until 2014. After this, it was reopened in 2022 after being acquired by a consortium of Malaysian investors earlier in the decade. The entire area has been redeveloped into a number of office and residential spaces, and it is really interesting to note that Apple is opening its new London HQ here in 2023.
This place is absolutely massive, and I am really struggling to figure out what I want to do right now. I've come at quite an old time because I've heard it looks really nice under the lights, and completely, I've got to agree. So let's have a look at a couple of other places and figure out what I'm gonna do. So this is pretty cool actually. They managed to convert this, which was originally a turbine hall, into this. This might be the bougiest Superdry store I've ever seen in my life. First impressions, a bit commercial, but that's to be expected. It's a mall, but I really like what they've done because it feels really modern, and at the same time, it's very rustic. I don't know, like very industrial. You still get the sense that this was a power station in the past. Speaking of being rustic, I think it's little features like this. It still feels very industrial. So just reading into this a bit more, the place is not completely finished, so there's a lot of empty space. So therefore, it feels a bit, I don't know, incomplete. But at the same time, there is a lot to do here already, and they're adding more stores all across the rest of the year. For example, there's a massive Uniqlo store right in front of me. Another really distinct thing about this place is that all the brands seem to follow the color pattern. So Lululemon, Uniqlo, all of them, they seem to correspond to that and change their logos to this black and white sort of aesthetic. I think it fits in really, really well.
I managed to see a couple of really interesting food options, including a kebab shop that looked a tad bit nicer than what most uni students are used to, and Gordon Ramsay's bread street, which looked especially nice from the outside, but I figured it was probably slightly out of my budget.
Being completely honest, I was very cynical about this. I did not expect to quite like this so much. It feels very, I don't know, it's just I've not seen something like this before. It reminds me of the airport in Zurich, if anyone's ever been. Really well designed, really classy as well. There is, however, lots of empty space. For example, right over here, it points to the arcade being built, and is all cordoned off. So it just feels a bit wasted and a bit desolate. This is, for example, this isn't exactly a site that anyone would want to see coming here.
Additionally, the empty space added a feeling of loneliness upon entering the place. So while there were a few decent dining options at the place, a lot of it was empty. It turns out that there are a lot more restaurants outside, so I made my way out and tried to navigate the place. I did get lost, but I managed to get a beautiful view of the other side, along with some beautiful shots of the London night skyline. After trudging my way through the exterior, with a couple of very nice residences and office spaces inside, I finally began to find restaurants. And after looking through the options, I settled on Roti King, a Malaysian restaurant which is familiar to any UCL student for its cheap and tasty food. I'm ashamed to admit I've never tried it before, but unfortunately this fact remained unchanged. because the place was too crowded and I wouldn't have been able to find any seating. So following this disappointment, I settled on Tonkitsu, a ramen place, and ordered the name same Tonkitsu ramen after a 5-minute wait. The ramen turned out to be really good.
So my train back to campus is gonna leave in 6 minutes. I think there's trains about every 12 minutes at this time. It's about 9 after everyone got kicked out of Battersea Power Station. So looking forward to the journey back home, and I'll see you there. So what did I think about the place? Honestly, I was really, really surprised. I didn't expect to like the place so much because I'd heard that it was quite corporate and not exactly a very unique place to visit, but I was really blown away by how they managed to maintain some of these links to the place's history, as well as establishing a number of designer outlets and really nice options to visit in the place. However, one thing is that the place is rather unfinished, so if you go right now, there's a lot of empty space. Obviously, people are going to have different tastes to it, so they're going to find it difficult. But I do feel like it's worth a visit, especially if you're in central London, because this takes about 30 seconds to reach. If you're in South London, it's a no-brainer. Although I might be getting my geography mixed up with the city. So yeah, I think you should definitely visit it. There's a lot of things to do around there, especially the restaurants by the river. Lots of great options. Get some tonkotsu ramen, and yeah. So if you like this video, then please like and comment below, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thank you. This is me signing off.